friends, ready for a new ride? Well, this is part 2 of my hard rock vinyl collection. So let's begin with a classic rock album from a classic band. This album issued in 1971. It was edited between Deep Purple in rock and Machine Head, so always carried the stone of being the little brother of these two albums, but for me it's one of their best albums, where you can hear their trademark hard rock sound mixed with some progressive textures. So this is an original UK pressing with the Harvest Red logotype in here in the bottom right corner. So if you open, well, this is the back cover, the back cover, but if you open the album you can see the same cover art in black and white, some photographs of every member of the band, and every track writing in here. Well, so this is the inside of the record, and the inner sleeve with some words of every track here, and the record folder with the label catalog, with the Harvest logotype in here and in here as well, the label itself. So the second album is a German hard rock band. John Lauron, later on Uriah Heep, is the lead vocals in this album. Well, this is a Spanish pressing label. And if you open the album, you can see an abstract picture of every member of the band here. Well, but what about the music? Well, this is an album, is very similar to the first Uriah Heep with a lot of keywords. Well, the third album is a rap album called Orgasm, issued in 1970. Well, this album produced by King Hensley alias David Paramore. As you know, King Hensley is the main songwriter on Uriah Heep. So this is a reissue from Tapestry Records, and well, this is an important album recommended to all Uriah Heep fans. Well, Hit Machine, Orgasm. Next, the second Uriah Heep album is one of my favorite Uriah Heep albums. Here, Salisbury. This album was issued in 1971. If you open, you can see a nice artwork inside the record. Here. Well, Bronze Records. This is a Spanish pressing. And well, what about the music? This is a classic album with really heavy tracks on it, and an epic one that runs all the second side. So next one is the second 3-piece album. This is an original USA album. So well, Threshold label. Threshold label, and if you open the album, you can see a picture of every member, with Dave Holland on drums, later on Judas Priest, Glenn Hughes on bass guitar, later on Deep Purple, and Mel Galley on lead guitars, later on Whitesnake. So this is an essential classic hard rock album with soul influences from a Glenn Hughes soulful voice. Well, next one. Here you have a nice cover art from this hard rock British band with all these cartoon strips here. Well, a Sal Tell Me production from the Hugh Fames, the year 1970, Bell Records. This is an original USA album. Bell Records, here. Well, next one, this is an American hard rock band, Bill and Goose. Actually, I think this is, it's a gatefold vinyl album. If you open, you see a photograph of all the bands. Here, a nice photograph. Mercury Records. Here you have the record folder with the label catalog. (1971) Mercury Records. Next one, Tear Gas. This is a heavy, really heavy British hard rock band. You see here the back cover. Well, this album was issued in 1971, but I think this is a reissue album from Timeless Records. Here. This is a reissue album from the 80s. And well, the sound is very heavy in this album. With there is a medley with some 50s anthems on the second side. The songs are Jailhouse Rock and All Shut Up. So this is an essential hard rock album. Next one. This is Nick Simper's project after leaving Deep Purple. Warhorse Red Sea, their second album from 1970. So this album, if you open, you can see some words about the history of the band, how they come to exist, and a brief commentary of each member of the band. Well, this is the inside of the album. This is a reissue album from a Karma record with some bonus tracks in here. Is deluxe edition, Karma Records. So, well, the nice cover with the zip in it shows a music that is very similar to the first Deep Purple Mark I. So I recommend this Warmy. I recommend this album Warmy. Next one. This album is Bulletproof, the band Hard Stuff, issued in 1970, Purple Records. This is an original UK album. So here you have, with John Cann and Paul Hammond, John Cann on guitars and Paul Hammond on drums, both of them played on Atomic Rooster, and John Gustafson on bass guitar, who play on Quatermass. So this is a gatefold vinyl album with a nice photographs inside. Well, here you see. As I said before, Purple Records, 1972. Next one, the second album from this famous, famous band, Rio Speedwagon, is chosen in this video because I think it's one of their best albums. A classic album full of hard rock and roll with a cover of Chuck Berry, Little Queenie. So this album is a wonderful album. An original USA album, Epic Records, here, from 1972. Next one, the fifth Trappist album with a different line-up on it. Well, you see, is Mel Galley and Dave Holland is still on the band, but the coming of the new guitarist adds more strength to the wall. So this is a very good album with really good tunes on it. If you like Bad Company or Foreigner, you like this album as well. So this is an original USA album, Warner Bros. Records. Here, 1975. Next, the second album by Tommy Bolin. Here is one of his best albums. The back cover. This is an album from 1976, Columbia Records. Here, well. So this is one of the best albums, one of the best solo albums I have heard from a solo artist after playing with the Purple and James Gang. Well, Tommy Bolin. Next one, Uriah Heep, Heights and Mighty. This album is the last album with David Byron, so it belongs to the middle period of the band, with a record folder, and here some photographs. The band. This is a Spanish original pressing. Well, you see here the record folder. Bronze Records. Well, and what about the music? I think this is a nice album with 10 assorted tracks, 10 important tracks for this assorted album. Well, you see. Next one, Captain Bayon, Down Explosion. Well, the third Captain Bayon album. So shows a nice superhero here on the cover. Well, the back cover with Reno on lead guitar and Lee Dorman on bass guitar. Leno and Dorman played on Iron Butterfly before, and Bobby Caldwell, Willie Duffer on lead vocals. This is a original album, original USA album from 1977, Warner Bros. Records. Here. And well, what about the music? This is a fantastic album with 2 or 3 killer songs like Do or Die or Fantasy. Well, this is a very good album. Next one, this is an American hard rock band, Track, from 1970, Columbia Records. Here. With Willie Duffer on lead vocals, who played on Captain Bayon, as I said before. And well, this is a very good album with a very good cover, Guns cover in the form of Yellow Cab Man. So, Track. An Oscure, Iowa band, Locust, Plague, from 1976. This album, Coeptis, and with Coeptis Records here. Well, and with Coeptis. Well, what about the music? In this case, this is a mixture of hard rock and adult-oriented rock. This is an underrated album, recommended for all rock aficionados, and as I said before, this is an Iowa Oscure band. Next one. The last one is another Nick Simper's project, Slipstreaming. He found this band with songs Warhorse musicians on the end of the decade of the 70s. Well, Slipstreaming, Shark Records. Here, Shark Records. So, well, this is Nick Simper's Fandango, Slipstreaming. So, that's it, my friends. I hope you learned something new. So, see you next video. Thank you very much and good luck. See you. Bye.